Something is always on its way here. Most of it burns up before anyone notices. 12 times now. We have found one only hours before it arrived. A rocket we launched ourselves, coming home after 54 years. A comet 2.5 times the size of the one that ended the dinosaurs. And at number 1, an object arriving on a Friday in April, so close it will pass beneath our own satellites, in full view of the naked eye. These are 10 objects heading toward Earth. Number 10. The asteroid we launched ourselves. In September 2020, a telescope in Hawaii picked up a small object drifting toward Earth. It was catalogued as an asteroid, 2020 SO. But it moved wrong, too slow, and its orbit was far too much like our own. Asteroids do not politely match Earth's path around the Sun. Paul Chodas at NASA had a suspicion that December, the infrared telescope facility read the object's spectrum and found stainless steel. It was the Centaur upper stage from Surveyor 2, launched in 1966. After 54 years adrift, it slipped into orbit around Earth, stayed a few months, and left again. Number 9. Number 9. The ones we see coming. In October 2008, astronomers spotted a 4-meter rock 19 hours before it hit. They predicted where it would come down, and it did, over the Nubian Desert in Sudan. Nobody had ever called an impact in advance before. Since then, it has happened 11 more times. 2024 BX-1 lit up the sky over Berlin, found 95 minutes ahead of arrival. The most recent was this May. 2026 JN4 was picked up roughly 5.5 hours out and burned up over the Arafura Sea. 12 for 12. Every one of them small. So far. Number 8. The piece of the moon that follows us around. Earth has a quasi-moon. It circles the sun in lockstep with us, looping around our planet without ever being captured. Stranger still, the light it reflects looks like moon rock rather than asteroid rock. One team traced it to Giordano Bruno, a young crater on the moon's far side, and argued it was blasted loose a few million years ago. Others are unconvinced, and published this year, making the case that the asteroid belt still fits. In early July, China's Tianwen-2 sent back the first close-up. It is barely 20 meters across, half what telescopes assumed. Samples come home in 2027. Number 7. The one we have already touched. Bennu is about 0.5 kilometer wide, and it is not really a rock. It is a loose pile of rubble held together by almost nothing. When NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft reached down for a sample in 2020, it sank into the surface as though the asteroid were a ball pit. Because that spacecraft tracked Bennu closely for 2 years, we now know its orbit better than almost any object in the sky, which meant researchers could name a date. September 24th, 2182 is the single most likely day for an impact. The odds are about 1 in 2,700. Small, but not zero. Number 6. The visitor from another star. On the 1st of July, 2025, a survey telescope in Chile caught something moving far too fast to belong here. Its path was not a loop. It was a hyperbola, the signature of an object that fell in from interstellar space and will never return. It was named 3I Atlas, only the third confirmed interstellar object ever found, after Oumuamua and Borisov. It passed closest to Earth on the 19th of December, about 270 million kilometers away, never remotely a danger. By 2028, it will be beyond Neptune, heading back into the dark. For good, still ahead. An entire star is heading our way, and we know almost exactly when it gets here. Subscribe so you don't miss the next countdown. Number 5. Halley's Comet, already on its way back. Every 75 years or so, it swings through the inner solar system, and it has done so for at least 2,000 years. Chinese astronomers logged it. It hangs stitched into the Bennu tapestry above the Norman conquest. On the 9th of December, 2023, Halley reached the far end of its orbit, 35 times further from the Sun than Earth is, out beyond Neptune, moving slower than at any other point. And there it turned around. It has been falling back toward us ever since. It reaches its closest point on the 28th of July, 2061. Number 4. The largest thing that keeps coming back. Comet Swift-Tuttle has a nucleus roughly 26 kilometers across. That is about 2.5 times the width of the asteroid that ended the dinosaurs, and it makes Swift-Tuttle the largest object in the solar system that repeatedly passes close to Earth. You have already seen pieces of it. Every August, our planet plows through dust it has shed along its orbit, and that is the Perseid meteor shower. It last rounded the Sun in 1992. It returns on the 12th of July, 2126, passing about 23 million kilometers away. Its orbit is now calculated 2,000 years ahead. In all of it, Earth is safe. Number 3. The asteroid that broke the record. Twice. It was found 2 days after Christmas 2024. 60 meters wide, big enough to flatten a city but not a country. Through January and February, its odds of striking Earth on the 22nd of December, 2032, kept climbing. On the 18th of February, 2025, NASA put the figure at 3.1%. That is the highest impact probability ever recorded for an object that size, and it became the only asteroid ever rated 3 on the Torino scale. Then the Very Large Telescope looked again, and within a week the number collapsed to near 0. The risk shifted to the Moon, peaking at 4.3%, until the James Webb Telescope cleared that too. This March. Number 2. A star. Gliese 710 is an orange dwarf, about 60% the mass of the Sun, sitting roughly 62 light-years away in the constellation Serpens. It is not staying there. When Europe's Gaia Observatory measured its motion precisely, the answer was startling. In a little over 1.25 million years, Gliese 710 will pass within about 1/6 of a light-year of the Sun, some 25 times closer than Proxima Centauri is today. It is the closest stellar encounter we know of in our future. And it does not simply pass by. It moves straight through the Oort cloud, shaking comets loose for millions of years afterward. Number 1. Apophis. On Friday the 13th of April, 2029, and it genuinely is a Friday the 13th, an asteroid between 210 and 330 meters across will pass 29,470 kilometers from the center of the Earth. That is under 5 Earth radii. It is inside the ring of geostationary satellites. Nothing that size has come that close in recorded history. For an object of these dimensions, it is roughly a once-in-800-year event. And you will not need a telescope. Across Europe, Africa, and Western Asia, Apophis will be visible to the unaided eye, a moving point of light you can watch travel against the constellations. For years, it carried a genuine impact risk for 2068. Radar has since cleared it. What connects this list is not danger. It is bookkeeping. Almost everything here is harmless. And we only know that because people spent decades patiently measuring rocks most of us will never see. The objects that worry astronomers are not the ones with names and dates. They are the ones nobody has found yet. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, and we'll see you for a new Top 10 next week.